Come on. It's 7. Some people are trying to sleep, man. Not me. I was up watching these creepy videos. Now, whether or not you're a believer, you have to that's some real. It's either like a deer in the car, children without a parent, or some really big jerk. Anyway, now you have to believe one or two things about the Mars photographs by now, okay? Because these are in the NASA archives. These are NASA photographs, and if you look at that, it just looks so creepy. If you look under the rock there, just right there, you see what it looks like. Now, if this was our planet, you could say it's an owl coming out, a baby owl, coming out of it. But what it looks like to me is something that was crushed by that stone that's laying on top of it, or something crawling out from under the stone. If you look at this video, this is Mars ruins. There's 1, 2, 3. Look at. I put some of the posts up on my Facebook page because if you tilt it this way, to the side, I mean, there's no imagining the demonic face that appears. On this video, there was what looks like to me a Buddha head. Well, there's that. I mean, but let's go back. Let's go back here. Unless it wasn't even on this one. I don't know. But that looks like a wing there. Right there. That looks like a wing, but let's not get into that. That, however, is something that isn't going to be explained away as a rock. Yeah, this ain't the one. I mean, you could say that those faces that look like, it looks like a face there could be pareidolia, but the one looked like a Buddha head. Wow. Guess what's not going to happen? It's not going to come back because that's what they did to me. They blew up my modem, raised my prices, and then gave me slower speeds that if it goes for a while, it won't load. So anyway, here's where I'm at on this because a couple things that you can believe here. That these photographs are real, or that NASA doctored them for some reason. Probably to get money funding for their Space Force or whatever they're building. They want to build space, everything. They want to build everything out there. Space stations around the moon. China wants to put up a space station. We're talking, what was that on Star Wars? They're trying to make that a reality. The Death Star. Anyway, I have seen things on these videos and on the NASA website. That's why. This is these are photographs that NASA took and it's automatically downloaded to their site somehow. I don't know the logistics of it all, and then they spend their time combing through it, as do obviously people with, I don't know what else they do at the time, but this would take a lot of time to look through these photographs. However, those things are on the planet, and Either that or NASA's doctored the photographs so that we believe they're on the planet, and you have to be one or the other, because it's too much stuff now. It's just too much. But we have shown over the years that they haven't told us about mucho attention to Mars. And it is completely possible that years and years ago we sent people up there that are putting this stuff around there, that are building whatever out of just plain old rock and pneumatic drills or whatever they got, whatever kind of technology they have, I don't know. But they could be up there on Mars at our bequest, at our bit, at the world's. It could be a worldwide conspiracy. Why not? Putting the stuff up there so that they can send more stuff to Mars with our blessing. But I don't, because rocket launches are harder to hide now. But I think there was 46 or 64 missions prior to the ones that I knew of that we sent stuff into outer space. Good stuff. I mean, this isn't the 1964 trash that you watched on television. This is technology that can send billions of miles of information through billions of miles of space, unimpeded. We didn't have that then, did we? Or did we? Because then that would explain, the crash in Roswell and the UFO supposed. And look, I don't believe anything that I can't see with my own two eyes. Okay, this apparently is something that needs to be paid attention to, not just because of stuff that's showing up on Mars, but because of everything else. Because of the melting of the ice, the glaciers that are disappearing. I don't know about climate change. I don't know, but I do know what the scripture says about it. I certainly don't know how it's playing into the end, but I know that all the things that are going on together, when you put them together, you put them all in a glass and turn on the blender, that it's going to make a milkshake. Or a frosty or a smoothie or whatever you want to call it. But when you put it all in the blender, it comes out as a smoothie or a milkshake. And that's what's going on right now. That's what's happening. That what we're seeing is our smoothie. This is what we were waiting for. Okay, this is beyond wars and rumors of wars, signs in heavens. Jesus said, don't be dismayed at them as the pagans are. And you don't understand. I'm not worried or afraid about this. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to buy food or buy water or whatever supplies I need. But I'm not worried and afraid of space creatures coming down. But whether they do or not, I hope that I'm able to stand in their face, because they're going to be entities that are from that dimension where God created us outside of. All right, we are outside of that realm. And as I've said it before, we're like the Vaseline and the water. And what's happening is they're trying to merge once again, because I think of it as a rubber band that when you bow it, but then it'll snap back once you let it go. And personally, I think that's what's happening. Things are going on that we cannot explain, except for if you know the scriptures. Like, for instance, did you know the scriptures clearly describes unicorns, dragons with stones for skin, the fish that swallowed Jonah was Tanaim, which means dragon. which just also means fish. Not a big deal to them. To us, it might have been. However, I have seen a goby dragon, and they look like dragons. But anyway, quite frankly, I have no idea what's going on right now. But I do know that this entire weekend went by without me once thinking about killing myself. How about that? One time did the thought cross my mind even. I realized it. I thought, that is outrageous. I didn't go to church yesterday either. But Saturday I didn't, that I know of, think about the reality of it. That eventually I'm going to end my own life. That did not go through my mind one time, man. Because I was really, really high this weekend. Really, really high. I used practically all of my medical marijuana because it worked. It did the job I needed it to do. And for one weekend out of I don't know how many, I have not felt the need to commit suicide until I woke up this morning and realized that now I have to get up and gotta go somewhere. And, more rules, and now they're angry at me because I want to forgive Ricardo. And I got yelled at about that. So it's either one way or the other. Either the church is like, you have to forgive him, which they're right, though. The scripture clearly says that I need to forgive him. And then the other side, the non-Christian side that's involved in my life tells me after 2 years of harassing the police and all this, and I was like, I can't win this. I can't win it. So, of course, I'm not ever, I forgive him. But what was it? Evander Holyfield said when Mike Tyson bit his ear off, because Evander Holyfield was a Christian, supposedly, right? I forgive him, but he has to, something. Well, that's where I'm at. So, anyway, those artifacts. Let me show you this stuff. No idea what this is. None. That's not paint. It's not paint. But it's not natural either. Well, whatever. Look, wasn't able to scrape it off. But it could be a fossil of some sort. But then there's this. Alright, now, normally you would be looking at just a river stone, but this has a lot of wear. And it just looks unnatural, like it was made like that. I think it might have been part of a cudgel, maybe. But definitely an artifact. I did find a dinosaur skull once. It wasn't a skull anymore, it was practically stone, but so I know that there's the real and then there's the Matrix. They're both very possible, of course.